What's good, YouTube? So today I'm bringing you my virtual world deck profile. In the last video, I did forget to put in the extra deck. I did do a short. However, I'm not sure how many people have seen it. So I did add some revisions to the deck. Not too many differences from the last one, but however, I am going to be going over more test hands in this one, and then kind of just going over what the deck can do, what you can expect from this virtual world deck. The core of the virtual world deck is actually $10. I would say even less than $10 if you get it all from 1 or 2 sellers on TCG Player. So it's extremely cheap, and the end board is actually very strong. And then a lot of the hand traps that are in the current meta don't really do much to virtual world. I feel like possibly Nib, however, you can get a negate on board before your 5th summon if you do get the right hand, and then Droll as well. However, not too many people are maining Droll. They usually do side Droll for decks like Yugioh Mitsurugi. So again, a lot of the negates don't really do much because most of your on-field effects are usually just to draw cards, and then they just kind of have ongoing effects. With that in mind, I am going to quickly just go over the deck. If you are interested in card by card analysis, I did do more of that on my last virtual world deck profile. Quickly going over, we have 3 virtual world Lulus. She is the best card in the deck. She's the main one you do want to see in your opening hand. And we have 3 GGs, similar to Lulu, however just a slower version, gets to add you back a virtual world card from your graveyard at the end of the turn. Then Lao Lao, your Monster Reborn, 3 of these. You just want to max out on all the virtual world cards because most of them are 2-card starters. And then Lily, she is your Foolish Burial. She gets to send 1 to 2 virtual cards from your deck to your graveyard. Then Yan Yan, just another virtual card, kind of the worst one. You only play 2 of them. You can honestly get this down to 1 as well, especially because this deck is not running Pot of Desires. We do utilize it to get your banished cards back into the deck. Then we have Zanwu, which is a Monster Reborn. You just have to discard a card from your hand. Then Chuche, this is a pop. Then we have 3 emergency teleports just for some consistency. 3 Quinlongs. This can also be cut down to 2 as well if you do want to add more non-engine. What cannot be cut down to 2 is Virtual World City. We need 3 of these to get your Chuche on board. It is one of your best starters along with Lulu. Then speaking of consistency, we also need to run Pot of Prosperity. Again, not running the 3 desires. However, I usually do like running 3 desires, but for now, I feel like we needed more room from non-engine. So we just have 1 Pot of Prosperity. Called by the Grave, just a good going first or going second card. Then 3 Fualos. If you do not have Fualos, you can easily replace this with Droll. 3 Nibs, 3 Ash Blossoms, 1 Ghost Ogre just in case we have emergency teleport and we don't need it to grab an extender. You can also put Ghost Ogre as another form of disruption on your board. Then 3 Infinite Impermanence. Another card I usually like running in Virtual World is Solemn Strike, just because it's a good card to set. To activate your Ultimate Azoken. Then for the extra deck, we are running a mini Dragoon package just because Dragoon is one of the good end board pieces you can utilize in this deck. Then we have Ultimate Azoken and Monday Mud Dragon to go into your Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Zeus. 1 card I did not have in my last profile that I did add is Utopia Beyond. He is just a good card to out cards like Red Eyes Dragoon. He makes it so all your opponent's monsters attack goes down to 0. So for cards that cannot be destroyed or targeted by card effects, he is a non-target, non-destruction card that can just beat over 3,000 attack. Then we have Lars just for another form of disruption. Virtual World Phoenix, Constellar, some of your draw cards, Coral Dragon, Ravenous Crocodile Dragon, Stardust Charge Warrior. You're basically just utilizing these to draw cards. Then we have Virtual World Beast Juju, Vermilion, Dragon Mech. Then 2 of the end board pieces, one of the other ones besides Dragoon that we try and go into every turn. Crystal Wing, and then Shen Shen. This is a walking Macrocosmos, and then this is just a negate / banish. So just really good cards that you want to make sure to have. It is flexible. You can mix in other cards as well. I feel like Fan, Constellar, one of the draw cards, Juju, Vermilion Dragon Mech. You can add in the rank 12 or the level 12 Math Mech as well. I'm going to show you a test hand, showing you what the deck can do, just showing you what the ceiling of the deck looks like, what kind of typical board a virtual world deck can do in May 2025. It is a fairly old deck. However, it still creates pretty powerful end board. Okay, deck is shuffled. That's who we got. Virtual World City, Pot of Prosperity, so some decent starting cards. Nib if we're going second, Lily, and GG. Okay, so pretty good hand, I would say. Nib is a really good blowout going second card, so if we were going second, it wouldn't be too bad. Most decks can play through Nib, but with some form of disruption. Then a lot of engine. So I feel like we would just go ahead and use Pot of Prosperity just to kind of bait anything they have if they did have an Ash. From here, I feel like we can just do 3, or I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just do 6 for like everything else. So we banish these. These are a lot of going second cards. Consistency, for the sake of the test hand, just do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So not the best. If you want to just get Ash in hand, since we already have a lot of engine, or we can just go for full gas and do Yan Yan just to have a normal summon. Could also just do emergency teleport. So to utilize our normal summon with Yan Yan, then we can go ahead and do Lily, targeting the Yan Yan. That's going to go ahead and send a trap and a spell card, a virtual world trap and spell card. So we get Quinlong is the main one we want to get into the graveyard. Then we can either do Zanwu, or for like this one, we're just Chuche. So we got Chuche and Quinlong in the graveyard. And Lily special summons itself. So we do not have a tuner on board as of yet. We're gonna get one by banishing our Quinlong. Quinlong will add us our Lulu. And we're gonna go ahead and just discard our Nib. So we could target a monster with Lulu, but we wanna actually add a monster. So we're gonna go ahead and utilize our Virtual World City. That's gonna get Chuche on board. Now we can utilize Lulu targeting the Chuche. That's gonna send a spell. So we can send another Quinlong for follow-up. And then we can add the missing monster, which is Lao Lao. So we now have all names. And more importantly, we have a tuner on board. From here, we can get our Yan Yan in the graveyard. Going into Stardust Charge Warrior, he gets to draw us a card. We get infinite impermanence, so pretty good draw. We can utilize it to set. Now we can go ahead and special summon Lao Lao, targeting the Chuche to send our other Yan Yan to the graveyard. Yan Yan goes to the graveyard. Then we can special summon, let's see. We wanna get, so Yan Yan will turn to a tuner. We're gonna special summon our Lulu, which then, since a level 3 was special summoned, Yan Yan gets a special summon itself from the graveyard as well, and he becomes a tuner. So we have 3 tuners on board. From here, we can go into Ultimate Azoken, utilizing these 2, special summon in defense mode. Then we can go ahead and set our infinite impermanence, which is then gonna activate Ultimate Azoken, and that's gonna get us our Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon on board. Then we can get our Shen Shen, utilizing these 2. Now we can go ahead special summon our Gigi by targeting our Yan Yan. That can send us our Zanwu to the graveyard. So we have a 3 and a 3. So we have different options here. We can go utilize these 2 and go into our Mud Dragon and then go into our Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. We do not have any cards in hand though, but I feel like that is the only option we have left since we did banish a lot of the cards. We could also banish our Chuche to increase one of their levels and then go into a Croco Dragon and then just get us a draw. Yeah, but I feel like the only option we really can do right now is just Muddy Mud Dragon. Get these 2. Yan Yan gets banished, which is good because now we have 2 cards in the banish zone. So Chuche is now live. We have a pop. And then we can utilize these 2 to go into Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. So just to see what the full end board is. We have a Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. We are going to get a card in hand as well for our Red Eyes Dark Dragoon to become live, because during the end phase, we can utilize Gigi's effect to add a virtual world card, which will be Lulu, to our hand. So it's either going to be follow-up or it's going to be a Omni Negate with our Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. And we have infinite impermanence set. So just to show you what the full end board is, we have follow-up in hand / the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon Negate. We have a walking Macrocosmos, so any card sent from the field to the graveyard is banished. And then we have a Monster Negate / Destroy with Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, Infinite Impermanence, and then a pop. So pop negate, a pop, a negate, Omni Negate, Macrocosmos, and then follow up possibly. Also in the graveyard, for the next turn when we do draw a card, we can also have follow up with Quinlong, which gets to banish itself again, and then add us a Lulu in case we did utilize it with Red Eyes Dark Dragoon to discard. So as you can see, pretty powerful hand board that is uninterrupted, but very layered as well. So just showing you what a $10 deck core can do. So what do you guys think? $10 deck core, pretty powerful end board. You get to utilize Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, who is one of the most expensive cards in the deck. I feel like it's like, what, $2 now for an ultra rare, maybe less for a super rare. The rest of the virtual deck core is less than $10. They're literally all 20-cent cards, 25-cent cards. If you order from TCG Player, or even finding a core on eBay. If you guys want to see more virtual world stuff, feel free to comment below. Let me know if you're interested in more test hands, different end boards as well. I can go over that as well. But I think that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.